Hello everybody and welcome to JHOP September Stretch. We're back and I'm so excited to share this flow with you today. It's just going to be a good head to toe, front to back, top to bottom stretch for you that I really hope you enjoy and get some benefit out of, which of course I know you will. Alright, that's why it's here. Alright, so welcome. I hope you're having a great day and congratulations on doing this for yourself today, because that's a big step to just hit that play button, knock out some space for yourself. Yeah, create your atmosphere that is going to make you the most successful today, and let's get to it. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is a little bit of a lower back reset. Alright, so this is coming from the principles of the half roll down. Alright, but we're going to kind of go into a cradle here. Alright, just to really ease that lower back, that hardworking, overworked, underappreciated lower back. Alright, so in this hanging position here, we're actually going to take our hands up a little bit higher than we usually do in Pilates. And we're going to round the upper spine and drop your chin to your chest. Leaving this deep curve in your upper back, tuck your pelvis under more. So I want you to kind of tip the rim of the pelvis. And we're just going to hang here, friends. Try to soften in your hip flexors. That's what your arm strength is for. And as you're working here, pull those shoulder blades down so we're not creating any tension. We're releasing that tension. So in a really dramatic, giant capital C here, we're reaching that lower spine forward, dropping your chin all the way down, and just breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. 2 more deep breaths with me, all right? If you can curl one more bone under, great. If you can drop your chin a little bit more, fabulous. Last breath in. And exhale. Now just let your spine come all the way down to your mat. Head last and settle in here on the floor. Good already. All right, with this in mind, we're going to come up with our legs in a giant 90-degree L here. And just start with, I want your hands on your rib cage, kind of feeling your top ribs melting into your back ribs. Feet are flexed, and already this might be a big stretch for your calves, for your hamstrings, okay? We're going to keep it dynamic. I want you pushing through your heels. So if I came up in front of you and put my hands on top of your feet, you'd be pressing your feet up into my hands. So now that our fingertips have been keeping our ribs down, I want you to bring it to your pelvis. Keeping your abdominals engaged, press your right hip 1 inch further forward towards the front edge of your mat. And now press your left hip 1 inch farther forward towards the front edge of your mat. Slide your fingertips around and feel the activation in your glutes. And what we're doing here is actively lengthening that lower back forward. And you can see my legs are actually shaking a little bit here, yeah? Breathe. 2 more deep breaths in here. Inhale, soften the hip flexors, lengthen through the back. So I want these creases easy. Exhale, back is actively reaching forward. And then bend your knees into your chest. Give it a nice big hug. Rock those knees up and down, side to side, just releasing the last stretch. Staying here. Drop your chin and lengthen through the back of your neck. Resist the temptation to over curl your pelvis up to the ceiling. Ease up a little bit on the hip flexion with those knees, and really press your lower spine forward towards the front edge of your mat. You can even press your knees a little bit up into the palms, and that helps you really release the lower back. And what I'm going to do here is just a little rocking sensation. Let's say if my tail is at 6 o'clock, I'm going to head a little bit to 7 and a little bit to 5. Yeah, that feels really nice. Keep the chest open. Yeah, so we're extending through the lower spine and the upper spine as we work here. Inhale. And exhale. Gorgeous. Feet on the mat. All right, working through this first section here. Now that we're kind of warmed up a bit, reach your fingertips forward. Walk them another inch towards your heels. Place an imaginary tennis ball right between those inner thighs. And then feeling that sensation again, tucking the pelvis under. Just a good old-fashioned bridge. Lift and lengthen through your lower back. Stretch through the front. Don't go up too high here. Keep that chest opening, but close the ribs and double down on tucking that pelvis under so you get this scoop sensation here. Hold it, open that chest, keep the breath freely moving through the body. Hug into those inner thighs just to get the legs warm. And then exhale, roll down through your spine. One bone at a time. We'll do that twice more. Inhale at the bottom. Exhale, lift the abdominals, tuck the pelvis, and peel your spine up. One bone at a time. Open the collarbones, melt the ribs, lift the glutes. Stretch your hip flexors, team. This time, as we lower down, I want you to think of extendo spine, all right? Like go gadget extendo spine. Reach one bone at a time forward as if your booty were going to touch the back of your heels. Oh, so good. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Lengthen your neck in the opposite direction. Keep that flow. Inhale, press up 1 inch higher. And then exhale, rolling it down. Awesome, friends. All right, I'm going to scoot forward just a little bit for this next exercise. Just make sure there's some space behind you. All right, so we just did a lot of deep stretches to make sure our lower back was nice and warm. We've got some articulation. Yeah, some mobility happening there. We're going to start to go overhead and really stretch the upper back, okay? I want you to be very gentle with this. Reach your tiptoes 3 inches in front of you, and then pressing your arms down into the mat slowly, so slowly. Peel your lower spine off the mat and catch your hips. All right, and you're going to use your hands to lift your tail a little bit more up to the ceiling so you're not sitting and compressing the spine. You're lifting it up. And just holding here, allow that stretch to happen through your upper back. Again, you're lifting the weight off of your neck. And then if you want to, you can drop your knees next to your ears and enhance your stretch. If you start to see stars or you're feeling really uncomfortable at any moment here, simply walk your spine slowly down to the mat and breathe with your knees into your chest. If you want a little bit more here, go ahead and straighten your right leg and straighten your left leg. Maybe your toes touch the floor. Maybe that's not happening today. Inhale in. Exhale out. Bend the knees. Slide your tail down towards the mat as you extend your arms slowly. How about that extendo spine again? Reaching one bone at a time forward so that you land with no thuds all the way down. And then just let that reset here with your knees into your chest again. Lengthen that tail forward as you open your chest and allow any kind of ringing in the ears or stars in your eyes just to kind of settle, because I know that's a real big stretch. One more time, okay, team? Lift your legs up to tabletop, send the legs out just a little bit. Feel the lower abs engage, because that's what's going to help you control the rollover. Arms press down. Lift your glutes. Arms reach to catch your hips. And remember, every time we do one of these stretch videos together, I always tell you to investigate. Yeah, be curious, all right, and listen to what your body is telling you. If something is the wrong side of uncomfortable, do not do it. Where does your body need the breath, the stretch? Maybe you drop those knees on either side of your ears. Maybe you start to straighten those legs. Reach your arms long on the mat This time, if you can, flex your feet. You can still hang on to your back and ease yourself down if you need to. But perhaps you push those heels away from you. Lengthen your spine one bone at a time. And roll it down. Hang out with those legs on the ceiling for a second. Allow your spine to reset. And then bend your knees into your chest. Assist by grabbing the shins. And just feel how long your spine is right now. All right, from the very crown of your head all the way down to your tail. From here, let's take a little twist. Take those knees over to the right. Open your arms to the left and just a spiral. Now, don't lose any of your length. Don't sit or slouch into the stretch. Reach your booty towards your heels. Lengthen your crown towards the back edge of your mat. And then engage your core and come back to center. And we'll go over to the other side. Knees just drift. I'm not going to catch on fire here. Over to the left. And open your arms to the right. One more nice big breath here. Exhale, bring those knees back to center. And while we're here, let's take that amazing figure four stretch. So cross your right ankle over your left knee. Slide your hands behind that thigh. Trying to keep that right knee as open as possible, and then maybe start to hug in with the left thigh to deepen your stretch. Please do not add tension through the shoulders or through the neck. Yeah, we keep the shoulder carriage easy as we stretch and lengthen the lower body here. And again, knee comes in 1 inch closer, but reach your tail 1 inch further away from you. And ease up on the stretch. Let's do that one more time. Beautiful, team. All right, coming out of it, let's just switch legs. Cross that left ankle over your right knee, set up that figure four, and slip those hands behind your thigh. Open your chest. Enjoy that sensation, just breathing. Inhale in. Exhale, deepen the stretch, widen the knee. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale, hug it in. Lengthen your spine. Last time, deep breath in. Exhale in. Awesome. And then release. Bring the knees together first. Little shake out if you need it. Great, team. All right. Let's come over onto our stomachs. All right. Let's start with just some baby swans here. So for today, again, when we do this together and stretch, I like you to go ahead and keep your legs open about as wide as your hips. Don't overforce the inner thigh engagement here, all right? Let's bring the elbows down, fingertips forward towards the front edge of the mat. And now your chest and forehead are down. Imagine pulling your elbows back towards your hips. Reach your toes over the back edge of your mat, but don't lift them. And feel your chest like a slide board, reaching forward. And then lower down. The reason we're doing it this way today is to try to take that temptation out of pushing with the shoulders, where we create tension. So if you feel your elbows literally pulling backwards towards your hips, lengthening your neck, and then lower down. And what you might feel is right in that mid-back, your multifidi engaging, which is good. All right, so think right between those shoulder blades, gliding down, and you're gonna get into a whole set of muscles there in your mid-back that are so important to strengthen. They keep your shoulders back instead of rounding and slouching forward. Widen your collarbones and lower down. One more time here, team. Opening your chest. Take any wrinkles, creases out of the neck. And just to make sure you do, look to the right. And then look to the left. Come back to center. Reach your chest forward 1 more inch. And then lower everything down. Fantastic. Now I want you to remember that sensation. Yeah, give a little wiggle waggle. And then take your arms out in front of you. Legs are still open about as wide as your hips, reaching nice and long behind you. Now, drag your hands towards you, towards the front edge of your mat, and then just stay there for a second. Notice maybe the shoulders came up a bit. Pull those blades down. Lift your chest. Now, don't come up so high that you start to feel pinching in your lower back. I'm still reaching through my legs, lifting my abs and stretching, working into that mid-back, and then slide the arms down. Again, pull the blades down. Now, how wide and expansive can you get that chest here? Lengthen in the neck. Exhale, release it down. One more time. Reach those toes nice and long. Lift the chest. Come on up, maybe a little bit higher this time. But you have to press down into the floor. Lift your belly button a little bit more. Find that length and extension into the upper abs, great stretch. And then continue to lengthen forward as you lower down to the mat. From here, walk your hands back in, and to release that extension, we head into flexion. So bend those knees underneath you, reaching your arms forward into that child's pose. And here's where you can take a minute to appreciate my Spanish guitar. Ever since I got back from Santa Barbara, I have been all about Spanish guitar. So I hope you appreciate it today. Inhale here. And exhale. All right, we're coming up onto all fours for some kind of classic JHOP stretch moves here, because they're just good. All right, and I love to incorporate them in every stretch video. So of course we're gonna go into that famous cat-cow. Tucking the pelvis under, our spine is getting so well loved and cared for here. Deep, deep flexion here. Pelvis tucks, try to touch your nose to your belly button, push the floor away. And then moving in two directions. Feel that same lift with your chest we were just playing with. Don't dump the belly button to the floor, but reach your tail back. And then tuck under. And reach back. Open that chest, push the floor away. And then round and drop your head. Can you drop that neck a little bit more? When you think you've released every last inch, release another inch. And now keeping that chest open, reach the booty back. Collarbones widen. And then we'll do one more set, rounding here. And reach. Now I want you to start to make those circles over to the right, to the left. Lift like a cat through center. Over to the right, left. Just finding a rocking motion here in the body. I get into your kind of animal mind here. There's a reason why you see cats and dogs kind of stretch like this, just moving through their spines. Now reverse, up and over to the left. Through center, drop the chest, lift up and over, drop your head. Make sure your head is just kind of going along with the motion here, not working against where your spine is going. One more here, team, lift up. And center, we're gonna keep with some of this undulating movement here. Tuck your toes under and find your down dog stretch. As we start to get into the legs here, press your right heel a little deeper into the mat. Maybe even wrapping your left foot around the right to give it a little guide. Now watch that right foot. Is it true parallel? Or is your heel in a little bit? Make sure you're in parallel, putting weight into both the outside and the inside of the heel. Lift your tail a little bit more. Ease up on the shoulders. Take the weight out of the wrists. Feel it, friends. And now switch over to the left foot. Again, being curious and investigating Wrap that right foot around, a little extra weight. Now lift your belly button, lift your tail. One more breath here. And then exhale, both heels come down, and let's just walk it out before we settle, okay? Let's go right, walk it left, and right, left. 4 more, get that heel down as much as you can every time. 3, and 2, and 1, and now let's try to settle it. Both heels down, maybe you widen your stance just a little bit, whatever feels right for you, but watch that the heels don't start to turn in, and that kind of just depends on where you're tight. For me, the inside of my calves are a lot tighter, so I tend to want to pull in because that eases up on the calf, yeah? Now, back to that undulating I was promised, yeah? Lift up onto your toes. We played with this kind of rolling plank before. Rolling out, and now lift your belly button, press your heels back down. Widen the stance, a little bit of your down dog. And now rise up to your toes. Keep your chin to your chest, abs to the ceiling, and float out to that plank. Lengthen your neck. Drop the neck, lift the abdominals. Reach the toes up and then settle the heels back down. Heels rise, head drops, chin to chest, press it on out. Lengthen for a moment and then lift right back up. And right back out, finding some flow here. Draw those shoulders down, engage the arms. And 2 more. In with the air. Last one here. Make sure the palms are firmly into your mat. And just hold your plank here, neck nice and long for 3, 2, 1. Bending the knees, tucking the pelvis, reach back. Inhale in. And exhale out. Let your body move a little bit if it's speaking to you. Inhale in. Exhale. All right, coming back into that down dog. Tuck your toes, lift up. From here, lift your head a little bit, place your eyeballs right between your hands, and bring that left foot forward into your lunge. Making sure the knee is right over the ankle, lengthen through that back leg. Stretch nice and long. You're going to feel that hip really start to open up. Deep breaths. Watch that the pelvis is even. You're not sticking that left hip towards the left side of your mat. You want to keep it center. And then from here, turning towards me into your side lunge. Stretching through that inner thigh and your groin. Walking with the hands back over. Open the chest, keep that neck in line with your spine. Push that right heel back. And then back to your side lunge. Maybe in this side lunge you press out a little bit more. That starts to get right into it. Needed that apparently. Good one. Hold here. Maybe your hands come up. Now you are welcome, friends, to put your hands back down on the mat. As a challenge and as some hip mobility work here, I'm going to transition back into my front lunge without touching the floor. Weight into all 5 toes on both feet. Maybe you put your hands down, maybe you keep them up. Let's rotate back to side lunge. And again. Oh, one more time here. Reach. And reach. Beautiful. Hands down. We did it. Straighten those legs up to the ceiling and hang your head. Again here, watch that the hips don't turn towards the left. All right, well, so yeah, the booty would go to the left and the hips would actually turn to the right, yeah? We don't want that to happen. We want your hips, your headlights, to go straight forward towards that front foot. Now from here, the thing we're going to talk about today is in the knees. When we straighten our legs, we don't want to push our knee joint back. That's called hyperextending. What I want you to do is pretend you have a string right up here out of your tail, and that string is going to pull you up to the ceiling as you drop your head a little bit more. Both legs truly parallel. Lift your back heel. Now bend both knees. Pull your abs in. Now without pushing the knees behind you, lift your tail up to the ceiling and drop your head. Ease up on your shoulders. Do that 3 more times. Inhale, bend. Exhale, lift. Again, inhale down. Lengthening through the back of the legs instead of pushing back. 2 more. Keep it flowing. Doing beautifully, everybody. Hang in there. We're almost out of this, all right? If you start to feel dizzy, that too much blood rushing to your head, just bend your knees all the way down to the mat and take a rest. Holding here. Drop the heel again. Try to hug a little bit closer into that leg for 3, 2, and 1, and then slide your right foot back into that lunge. Hands stay on the floor this time. Work through your side lunge. And then rotate side to side a few times. Reach. This is our Ninja Warrior move. Mortal Kombat. It's not really a good note for a stretch video, is it? That's always how I feel when I do these side lunges. I know somebody watching will appreciate it. All right, back into the other side. Let's do it. All right, here we go. So, knee directly over your heel. Watch this right hip. Don't let it rotate. Press your right hip back towards your left heel. And then reach that left heel all the way to the wall behind you. Keep those abs lifted. Something else, don't let that right knee pop to the side. All right, you want to keep that stable forward. Big breaths. And then use your hands. Easy rotation back to front here. Keep the neck soft. And back to your forward lunge. All 5 toes on both feet, really working here. Can that heel reach back another inch? Can your crown lengthen another inch? And then side lunge again. Now this time we kind of maybe scoot out just a little bit more with that left heel. Woo-hoo. It might make you sing. I'm also kind of using my right elbow here to push that right knee back a bit. Feeling that. And perhaps you lift your hands off the mat. Ready? Here we go. Using those inner thigh muscles back to front lunge. Ooh, snap, crackle, pop. Maybe you use the hands, maybe they stay put. Rotating back to side lunge. 2 more sets. Yes, here we go. And rotate that foot. And side. All right. Once more. And side. This time we're going to go back to that front lunge and then instantly put those hands down and press back up for some relief here into that straight leg position, hanging over. Maybe you walk those hands in a little bit closer, drop that head, and then lift your back foot, bending your knees, drop your seat. Now watch that you're not going to push back, all right? Lift your tail up, create the space for the stretch. That's it. Again, inhale, bend. Can you lay your chest on that leg? Exhale to lift. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. Feeling good, team. How you doing? 1 more. Inhale here. Exhale, lift. Walk your hands in front of you. Bring your feet together. Yeah, just in the center of your mat. And now watch here that you're not going to sit back into your heels. You can see how my booty's actually behind my heels here. I want you to bring your weight forward. Put your hands down if you feel like you're going to fall. Yeah? Stay here, drop the head, and maybe you wrap those hands behind your legs. And think of that same sensation, booty up to the ceiling as your head drops. Yeah? Inhale. Exhale. We're just going to be here for 1 more breath. Inhale. Exhale. And bend your knees. Hands come down. And that was really deep stuff here, so we're going to take another child's pose, letting the blood just kind of rush back into our bodies, out of our heads. Inhale in. Exhale out. Inhale in. Help yourself out here as you exhale. Walk your hands in so you give the floor a little push. Keep your chin to your chest. And just roll it up. Ah ha ha. All right, so that was huge for those legs, all right? I feel like we should still do a little bit of a quad stretch. So all I'm gonna do is extend my right leg right now, okay? Now please be careful with your knees, everybody. If this doesn't work for you, stand up and grab your foot and a wall and balance, all right? But for those of us here on the floor, lengthen through that quad, stretch your hip, and what I'm gonna do is press down with my shin, pop this hip up a little bit, and I'm gonna get a great stretch through the front there. And we're just gonna breathe here. Inhale. Exhale. Lift your chest. 1 more breath. Inhale. Don't do anything funky here. Come right back where you came from. All right, and then lift your booty up and let the leg extend. I don't want you kind of swinging that knee around in any weird way. All right, nice and gentle here, okay? Tuck your toe under. This leg stays long. Ease yourself back. Press that shin down. Reach long through the front here. One more breath. Inhale in. And exhale. Ease yourself up. Use your hands a little bit, nothing twerky. All right, bring that leg out. Okay, let's do some mermaid, shall we? Side bending is so gorgeous for our bodies. All right, so we want to incorporate that. From the Pilates canon, we've got mermaid. So I'm sitting with my legs to my left with my left hand on top of my shins. You can match that or mirror me. Reach your opposite arm up to the ceiling. First thing you want to do, go ahead and grab that wrist. Keep your shoulder blade down, but lift up even taller. Find the length through the waist. Now, reattach your hands to your shins and reach over, keeping that arm connected to your temple to where the ceiling meets the wall. And then come back to center. Inhale, lift up a little bit taller this time. Exhale and try to go halfway down the wall. But what I don't want you to do is rotate down towards the floor. I want you to give me your full proud chest here, reaching. And now coming back up. Can you get any taller? Lift through your abdominals. And just take it over as far as you can. And this time, maybe you even turn that nose in towards your arm. And then come back to center. Open your arms to a T. And here's your counter stretch. Your elbow slowly lands on that floor. And you're going to reach your arm over in the opposite direction. Now push down through this elbow. So this hip is going to reach towards your heel. One more inhale. Exhale, floating back over. And then just rotate those knees over towards the other side. Hugging in here. Reach your arm up and connect it. All right? Lifting up tall. Reach over towards where the ceiling meets the wall. Keep that shoulder blade on your back. And then inhale, come back. How about we take that wrist like we did on the other side? Can you lift it? And then reattach your hand to your shins. And send it halfway down the wall. And up. Last time, lifting up a little bit taller. Exhale all the way over as far as you can. Turn that chin up towards the ceiling. Hug in with that bottom arm for an extra inch. And then lift. Lovely. Counter stretch. Elbows down. Reach. Press your top hip towards your heels. Keep those abs engaged and lift your bottom ribs away from the floor. Inhale here. And then exhale, lift up. Great, team. All right, let's cross those legs forward and then come into a butterfly stretch. So feet together, just gonna open up those hips, especially after all those lunges. Yeah, grab onto your toes and just let your wings kind of fly here for a second. And as you do that, I want you to really wrap your fingers underneath your toes so that you can use a little bit of force here. Pressing the knees down, lifting up through your spine. Keep the lift as you take 2 head circles towards your left shoulder. And then reverse it. Take your time. Ear to your shoulder, dropping the opposite side. That's what you can press your feet down into your hands for. And then maintaining that openness through the hips. Pull your abdominals in. Easy shoulders, rounding over those toes. And roll it up, sitting up nice and tall. And let's do it one more time, chin to chest. Easy hips here, don't grip. Try to open and release. Keep lifting the waist and dropping the head. And then exhale, roll up. Chin stays down. Draw your blades down as much as you can and then lift the neck and head. Awesome. All right, team, send your feet forward. Fingertips right back where we started, okay? So into that hang. Tuck your pelvis under. Drop your chin to your chest. Sit like you're in a canopy. 2 breaths. And then roll yourself all the way down to the mat. Open your palms to the ceiling, send your legs out. And find your Shavasana. Take a second to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Open your jaw. Stretch your face. Release any tension. And then gently, slowly make your way over to one side. Place your hand down on the floor and just kind of moving slowly and preciously up through your body. Find a comfortable seated position. All right, and allow me this moment to just thank you from my heart for joining me today. I, again, just applaud you for taking the time out of your very busy schedules to really stretch and invest in your body's flexibility and movement. It is so important. So well done you. Go treat yourself. Again, after this little treat of a stretch. And I hope you feel great. Please share your feedback. It means everything to me, and we'll just plan another great stretch. All right, thank you everyone. Have a beautiful day.